Welcome to Denim-wrapped Nightmares, Tipsy Exchange podcast, where we explore the supernatural series, episode by episode.
Over drinks, we'll discuss the lore, the gore, and what we adore about the Winchesters and their adventures.
I'm Burley, and I'm a new fan of the series.
I'm LA, and I'm here along for the ride. Now let's get tipsy.
Hello, LA.
Hey, Burley. On the last episode, it was titled Man's Best Friend with Benefits. And a police officer named James, who had turned to witchcraft after working a case with Sam and Dean a while back, is plagued by nightmares in which he murders innocent people. But then the murders were actually happening, and Sam and Dean are called in by him to help. But they aren't sure they want to save a witch.
We continued the discussion of this episode in the Patreon. And I think we hit the nail on the head as to what they needed to have in this episode, more so than commentary on the Three Stooges. Mm-hmm. Like when we first meet them, he's sleeping in the bed and she's sleeping on the floor, a dog. She talks about him like he hung the moon. Can you think of a single moment when he talked about her?
Yeah, no.
No. So I think if the episode had centered more on the relationship of Portia and James, it could have been saved. Because when you watch Twilight, whenever What's-Her-Face and Jacob finally started hooking up, you didn't care that he could change into a wolf because they'd spent time developing that relationship. Mm-hmm. You know? They didn't spend any time developing those two.
Yeah.
Somebody pointed out that 50 Shades of Grey was getting really popular around this time.
Okay.
And I could see that inspiration in the episode, but without leaning into it a little bit more, the only time we ever saw those two in a scene together was a handful of times, and half of them, she was a little dog. Anyway. That was my 2 cents based off of the discussion from Patreon, and I wanted to share it. But enough about that. Let's talk about today's episode.
Okay.
It's called Remember the Titans. It's the 16th episode of Season 8 and originally aired on February 27th, 2013. We start out in Great Falls, Montana. We see a gentleman. He's driving along. It's night.
He's drinking.
He's drinking, and he's dozing off, so he's nursing that beer some more. And we see another gentleman. He's walking on the side of the road. He's a cutie. Mm-hmm. I liked it. I liked what I see.
I liked his little curly hair. His moppy curly hair.
It was very cute. And he's walking on the correct side of the road against traffic. But unfortunately, the car that's coming from the other way crosses over all of the lanes of traffic as the driver nods off and slams right into Mr. Cutie Pants walking on the side of the road. He's done for. Driver gets out, checks, doesn't even really go over and be like, are you okay? Like nothing. Just sees him, freaks out, gets in his car and drives off. So we start off with a hit and run. Morning comes. We have a little time lapse here. And we see Mr. Moppy Hair laying on the side of the road still. He's got like ice particles on his face.
It's frozen.
Still, the blood on his forehead had turned like blue. Thought that was a cool touch. Yeah, there's like a vulture or something. Some bird of prey just perched on his pelvis area and nipping away at where his liver should be. Scavenging. Having a little snacky snack. So the officer, seeing this bird having eat this man's stomach.
An eagle.
I don't know the difference between an eagle and a hawk and a...
It doesn't matter.
Vultures don't have fur on their heads, though, I don't think.
It wasn't a vulture.
Yeah, it wasn't a vulture.
Are shaped different than that bird.
And they have like the... Yeah. So I knew it wasn't a vulture. I wanted to say hawk, but then I saw eagle, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to say bird of prey.
Yeah.
So the officer very kindly goes over to check the guy's pulse. Even though his guts were apparently spilled out all over the road, and you just saw this bird nipping away.
It's protocol.
Gotta make sure.
He's just got to do it.
Sure enough, there's no pulse. So the officer starts calling in and is like, hey, we got a hit and run on the side of the road. I need an ambulance, yada, yada, yada. And he turns around and, the body's gone. And we had seen him like wake up, like his eyes just kind of opened.
And he heals.
Yeah, he all healed.
Yeah.
And he got cleaned up a little bit too. Like none of the blood was left on his head.
That always bothers me in movies when they heal like that, but then it's like, oh, but it cleaned you up too?
Yeah, there's no residue.
Come on.
I guess it's just easier for special effects to just have all of it vanish.
I'm sure,
But it would have been nice, yeah, to have some dried blood left over or something. Mm-hmm. That would have been a nice touch. And he just gets up and just starts walking into the forest now. I guess he's decided staying on the road is not a good idea.
Well, yeah.
Or maybe he looked over and saw the cop and was like, uh-oh.
That too.
Got to get out of here.
Yeah.
We're not sure. But the cop...
I don't know how to explain this to him.
Right? How do I be like, no, it's okay, officer, cancel that call.
Yeah.
I'm all right. So it was probably that. It was probably him going, oh, fuck, and taking off running into the woods. So the officer walks over to where the body was and sees these footsteps going off into the forest. I told LA I would have had to be like, dispatch, I'm going to need a personal day.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain what I just saw. I loved this officer, by the way. Whenever Sam and Dean go to talk to him later about the body, he's like, zombie.
Yeah.
Zombie. Zombies don't get up and walk away. That was a zombie.
It's like, I know.
Yeah. And whenever his assistant finds the body and he's like, that's the same guy. Zombie, let's go. And they're like, no, chill out. We got it. And he goes, shoot for the head.
Boys, go for the head.
Go for the head. I liked him.
Yeah.
I liked this cop character. But after he like sees, oh my God, footsteps, forest, not going that way. He goes, supernatural. Then we are at the bunker in Lebanon, Kansas. Dean loves him those robes.
He really does.
Mm-hmm. They must be comfy. And Sam has gotten himself a glass of water from the sink. And then as he's walking away with this glass of water, he's like, ooh, and just spits into it, and it's blood. And then I was like, there's a sink right behind you. Why didn't you just go spit in the sink? And then guess what, guys? Guess what happened?
He goes and spits in that sink.
Even more blood. And then he's like looking at his mouth, trying to figure out where it came from because he didn't cough it up or anything this time. He just suddenly had a loogie of blood in his mouth. Then Dean's coming. So he like pours it out and like cleans the sink out and gets himself another glass of water. And Dean's like, you're acting cagey. You're acting cagey, man. Cass isn't talking to us. Kevin hasn't figured out the next trial. Like, I'm going to go crazy. I need us to have a case. And Sam said, well, that's awesome. Because guess what? I keep waiting for you to say something because you're doing her face.
Zombies.
He got zombies. Yeah. Check this out. And they read about the cop saying, oh, yeah, hit and run. And he got up and ran away. So then they go and interview him. And that's when the cop tells him everything, tells him that he didn't follow the body because he went straight into grizzly country. And sure enough, when the assistant finds the body again, he'd been killed by a grizzly bear.
Which I would have been done. I would have been like following him.
Right?
The footsteps. See where he went.
What the hell? What's happening? I'm so curious. Yeah. I love it. Whatever he said, dead as dog poop.
Yeah.
Never heard that saying in my life. But I got a kick out of it. I thought it was funny. So the guys go to check out the body. And they do the same thing. Like, checking the pulse, like figure it out, what's going on. And they're like, yeah, guy's dead. And so they're standing outside of the morgue and you can see the body on the table in the morgue through the window that they're standing in front of talking. And they're trying to figure out what to do. You know, do we stick around? And they're like, no, I mean, he's dead. He's dead. Like, that's not moving. He's not getting up, but just kind of going back and forth. And then the body wakes up again and he heals again and he gets up to run. And the guys just happen to look over and he ain't there. Guys are fortunately able to catch him because they noticed he was gone pretty damn fast. Dean, like, slams him on the table. He's like, what are you? And he's like, I don't know. And he's like, well, you're something because you were room temperature just a few minutes ago. And he explains that his name is Shane and he doesn't know anything. He doesn't remember anything. He just knows that he dies every day. So they say, okay, well, we're going to get you out of here because you're going to bring too much attention to you that you keep dying and resurrecting. Like, we got to figure this out. So they take him back to the motel. And when they get him back to the hotel room, they go through like the whole gamut, like the silver blade. I'm sure they had some iron and salt and they had him drink something from a flask, which I assume is holy water. He explains that he had woken up the first time that he remembers. He woke up on some mountain. What did he say? 7 years ago?
Yeah.
In Europe? Did he say what the mountain was?
I don't think so.
What mountains are in Europe?
Lots.
Are there any mountains in Greece? You think maybe it was Mount Olympus?
No.
We're stupid. Anyway, let's move past that. The guys decide that they trust him and they don't think he's a flight risk. He's like just wanting to clean up and all of that. So they decide to get their own room and let Shane have the room that they had. Well, we see that night there's a woman standing in his room watching over him. She's there to kill him, but she just like sits on the bed and looks at him for a while instead. And then he wakes up. He's like, who the fuck are you? And she's like offended. She's like, who the fuck? You don't remember me? Well, you know, I'm here to kill you. That's who I am. And so they end up having a little bit of a tussle. And Sam and Dean, I guess they hadn't gone to sleep just yet, even though it's supposed to be the middle of the night, because Dean comes running in fully clothed, shoes on and everything. Do they just sleep like that when they're on the road?
I guess.
I guess. Fully clothed. And she just has no problem just like whoosh, brushing him aside. Sam, same thing, knocks his ass out against the cars. But Prometheus is actually holding his own up against this chick. He ends up actually turning things around on her and getting her slammed up against a wall and has her knife in his hand. They were just like, who are you? Like, what the fuck? Why are you here? And she just kind of vanishes slowly.
She says, I'm your worst enemy.
After Sam and Dean are going, what the fuck? What was that? Who was that? How did you learn to fight like that? What's going on here? Prometheus is like, oh my God, I've never had a fight before. Hang on, just give me a second. And then he has a heart attack and dies.
I mean, the fight was impressive.
It was cool. It was choreographed really well. I enjoyed it. You know, one of my biggest, I understand why it needs to be choreographed this way for safety reasons, filming reasons, choreography reasons. But it always bothers me whenever it's like multiple people coming in to fight one person, and yet somehow the fight still always ends up being one-on-one rather than 4-on-1 or whatever. And I liked that since she was a god and she could just kind of woof, like that it was, even though it was 3-on-1, it made sense that it was still 1-on-1.
Yeah.
And her haircut, I liked her haircut.
Yeah, she was pretty fabulous.
Chic. The next morning, a woman shows up at the hotel. Sam and Dean answer the door. They're back in Mystery Dead Man. Oh, he's told them at this time his name's Shane. So they're back in Shane's room while Shane is getting better from his next death. And she explains that she's looking for Shane. She knows what's going on. She is the woman who found him when the mountain he was on had an avalanche. And they survived getting down the mountain together. And by the time they got to the bottom of the mountain, she let him in her mountain. No?
I mean, sure.
She let him mountain her. Mount her. Get it? Get it?
Got it.
Well, then he died while he was in her. I was just like, I guess that they were like, okay, the psychic connection where you're seeing the people getting murdered, that wasn't a scary enough sex scene last time. So let's talk about a sex scene where the dude literally dies on the woman.
Oh,
and I'm just like, who was on top? Do you think he was on top and was dead weight on top of her?
Probably.
Well, that wasn't a traumatizing enough experience for good old Haley here to have survived this mountain with this man who she found, and he kept dying every day while they were coming down the mountain. She'll be coming down the mountain. And she didn't realize that's what was happening. She thought that it was just like hypothermia or like a condition because he wasn't in good shape when she found him. Oh. I mean, surely she realized what was happening, but just like thought she was hallucinating maybe or something. Who knows? But it wasn't until after he died while they were fucking and she had him in the hospital or whatever, and then all of a sudden he comes to life again, that she freaked out and ran away from him. But he had already knocked her up.
Yep.
After this whole incident, Shane had disappeared into some cabin, but then there were people growing pot near the cabin that were getting paranoid, and they kept trying to kill him. So that's why he was like, I guess it's time to move on, and just walking along the side of the road. So she hasn't been able to find him because he didn't have an address. He didn't have an Instagram. He had nothing. He just vanished.
Yeah, didn't he say he was even hunting for his own food and stuff? He was
just
minding his business.
Not going to a grocery store. He was doing nothing. He was just sitting at home. And it's like, I almost want to know, what were all the different ways that he died? Was it just a heart attack every day?
I mean, unless he hurt himself somehow, I guess. Yeah.
Were some days like fate changed things up? Had you fall in the bathtub? Had you stab yourself in the throat? Like, I don't know. I'm just curious if it got really boring, the ways that he was dying every day.
Probably real annoying.
I forgot when they were in the morgue and he was explaining, like, I don't know, I just die every day and then I come back to life. And Dean goes, what are you, Kenny?
That was what he said?
Yeah, he said Kenny. I need to watch the new season of South Park. I still haven't yet. So Haley sees that Prometheus is finally woken up. And it's just like,
we don't know he's Prometheus yet.
Oh, yeah, Shane. She has seen that Shane has woken up. And so she goes walking up to him and is just like, hey. And he's like, what the fuck, Haley? Hi? This woman that you survived the avalanche with, and she just shows up after running out on you 7 years ago, suddenly here. And she has a kid with her. I don't know if he did the math or not, but she was like, I think it's about time you two meet. So her kid, did we ever find out his name? Oliver. Little Oliver. Cute as could be, but he doesn't talk. He is traumatized because it turns out He's inherited his daddy's curse. He is dying every day ever since he turned 7. And I think he's only like 7 years old. So Mama has been looking to try and hunt down Shane ever since this started happening because she doesn't understand what it is. And she still couldn't understand what it was whenever they told her it was a curse. Sam does some research and figures out that the only thing that makes sense is that Shane is Prometheus.
A Greek titan.
And they're assuming, the Titans, the gods before the gods. They're guessing that the attacker is Artemis, who's the daughter of Zeus. And as they're talking about Shane's curse and what they think that they can do to solve it, to try and fix it, Haley's just going, what curse? What curse? While they're waiting for Oliver to resurrect again. How did he die? He fell. That's what it was. He fell. Sam and Dean decide they aren't going to be able to solve this problem here. They need to go somewhere safer. So they take everybody to the bunker to start their research and figure out what their next steps are going to be.
I like that it says, after extensive research, Dean finds it. It's like, was it really that extensive? He just had the one book.
I mean, we don't know how long they were there.
I know. I still really like the bunker. I'm going to be sad when we leave it.
It's cute. I want to see more of it.
Yeah.
We've seen Dean's room. We've seen the library. We've seen that cute little foyer. I shouldn't even say little. That giant planning room with like that big table and all those instruments and stuff in there. They do park like just right out front the door though. And so I'm like,
it's home.
Yeah. Like y'all are telling everybody about the secret society.
Yeah.
Like what did Haley do to earn their trust for them to be like, it's a secret society?
Or Shane.
Or to be brought back to the bunker, just like brought in there. And y'all still haven't moved in Kevin. He is still on the boat. But let's get Shane and Haley and Oliver in the bunker and let them be in here.
Give them all our secrets.
Let's just say, if LA and I found a bunker, none of y'all would know. We wouldn't tell anybody. As they're researching, they figure out how to summon Zeus. They need the blood of a worshiper, a fulgurite, or the bone of a worshiper.
Yeah.
A fulgurite, and then I don't remember what the other thing was. Oh, there we go. A tree struck by lightning.
Oh, that's right.
So they need these things. Oh, no, that's the stake. The stake is the tree struck by lightning. That's what they need to kill him, not what they need to summon him.
Oh.
Haley and Shane are there with Sam and Dean as they're figuring all this out. Dean had found it in a book about, what was his name? Dolakabos?
I don't know what it was.
And it meant dragon dick.
Yeah.
It translated to dragon dick. I wonder if that's true. But anyway, this guy had written a journal all about trapping Zeus and trying to hunt Zeus. He was trying to get Zeus. And the men of letters had his journal and had translated it. So it was a loose translation, Dean said, whenever he was getting made fun of. Sam and Shane decide to go get the bone and the wood. And then Dean says, so we're going to be on B&E talking to Haley. And I thought this was funny. After Sam and Shane leave the room, Haley's like, so B&E, so you mean breaking in a ring? And I'm like, thank God she got that. Because if I had to hear her go, what curse? What curse?
What are we doing?
What? What is happening? But honestly, you know what? We should cut her some slack because I would have a really hard time absorbing that I fucked Prometheus as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of information to be thrown at her. So
True.
we'll cut her some slack. But I did love that she was like, so B&E, why do we need to do B&E? And Dean was like, oh, well, for the fulgurite. We had to rob a 1%er whenever we needed it for our last spell and da-da-da.
So rare.
Yeah. And I think we talked about this in that episode. So it was fun for her to go, like, you can get that in crystal shops. People use it for jewelry and shit. We can just go pick some up.
For cheap jewelry,
Yeah.
specifically.
B&E unnecessary. Oh, Oliver is alive again, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
He's come back to life.
He's really just there.
He's just kind of there in the background. And let me tell you, that kid's going to need some serious therapy.
Oh, yeah.
My goodness. They all get together in some abandoned warehouse somewhere. And they've drawn the sigil on the floor and had the bone and all that other kind of stuff. And they do summon Zeus. I liked his entrance. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. The lightning.
The lightning and everything. And I liked that he was in like that all black suit.
Mm-hmm.
Does Zeus have both eyes? Oh, I'm thinking of Odin.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking of Odin. Wrong one. So it's just this very suave, bearded man He's very menacing and evil. He is just like, come on. Do we have to do this? Like, can't we do this civilized way? Can't we do it in the easy way? And Dean's like, yeah, like, just break the curse.
Yeah.
Break the curse and no problem. Otherwise, we're just going to fucking kill you and see if that breaks the curse. And he's like waving his stake around, his lightning tree stake. Zeus ain't budging, so they call his bluff. Shane/Prometheus, Sam, and Dean, all three are like, yep, okay, cool. Have fun rotting away in here. It's abandoned. You'll never be found. See ya. And they tried to turn around and walk away. But Haley, fucking Haley, caves and goes and breaks the seal on the sigil and begs Zeus to save her son. And Dean told her before this happened, like, he's not your friend. This isn't about asking him for a favor. This isn't about begging him to do something. This is about getting him to do the right thing, getting him to decide this is the right thing and doing it. And so she fucking, but yeah, it's a mama. It's a mama trying to save her kid.
But it was also pretty apparent they were trying to call his bluff.
Agreed.
So.
And like, she didn't even try. She didn't even turn around. Where'd you think he was going to go? You couldn't even give it 5 minutes. You couldn't have done that, like gone outside and then been like, it's been too long. Like, we're going to lose him. Somebody's going to come save him.
Let's just chit chat out here until he decides to come around.
Well, Zeus gets out of the sigil because of Haley. And turns out, you know, again, this menacing guy in all black isn't a good guy. Who knew? Who saw that coming? Not Haley.
She did not.
So it turns out Zeus is fucking thrilled that this is Prometheus' son and that he has the same curse. Because this means he gets to hurt Prometheus twice as bad because he'll have to watch his son die on top of him having to die himself every day, which is just awful. Artemis has shown up by now, and so she's kind of standing guard over near Sam and Dean. And as Zeus is being disgusting and like, come here, my dear boy, like, come over here. We're going to have you die in front of your daddy. I want to watch. And I think he was actually going to kill him because he electrocuted, Prometheus for a little bit, fucking him up, and then was like, oh, come here. Now it's your turn, little boy. And it's just like, oh my God. And so Artemis is like, this is uncomfortable. You two come with me. We're going to go out here. We're going to go out here and find somewhere private and quiet for me to kill you away from this disturbing scene where the love of my life is being tortured by having to watch his son be tortured. Well, while they're walking, Sam, which I don't know what Sam picked up on. Oh, I guess it's just that he could tell she was uncomfortable because she was like standing there watching, but she like kept looking away. Like you could tell she wasn't happy about what was happening in there. She wasn't being, I liked what the actress did though. It wasn't exaggerated. It wasn't like she was scowling or wincing or anything. It was just like this very clear, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to be in here. But I'm here because I have to be.
Daddy told me to.
Yeah. I guess that's what Sam picked up on. And it's like, I don't know, Sam. Good swing, because maybe she just didn't like the idea of a child being tortured.
Yeah.
You know? But Sam took a swing and he ended up being right. He is at first taunting her by being like, yeah, Dean, this is the god of hunters. This is who we're supposed to worship, but she sucks now. She's just like, fuck you, and slams them both up against a wall. Dean has no idea what's going on. So he's like, you're fucking trash talking a god? You're going to trash talk a god, Sam? What the fuck?
All his faces he made as his head was like smushed to the wall.
So funny.
It was funny.
Yeah. He was so confused. He was making, Jensen Ackles did great in this scene with the facial expressions he was making. They were perfect. Completely opposite of Artemis, right? Like everything on his face. But appropriate. It was appropriate. Sam switches tactics while they're smashed up against the wall, turns into Gossip Girl, and is like, oh my God.
He totally loves you.
Guess what, Artemis?
He told me.
He whispered it to us. He said, you're the love of his life. Oh my God. Well, then Artemis is like, holy shit. Are you serious, Sam?
Into it.
Aren't they like brother and sister? Oh no, is Prometheus the son of Zeus? I guess we're going to find out in a little bit. But who cares? They're gods, and she is into it. She's like, oh my God, that's amazing.
He loves me.
I knew it. Even though he had children with other people, oh my God, I knew he wanted me. That is so exciting. So she decides, you know what? If I have a shot with Prometheus, I guess I'm going to go kill my dad.
Yeah. Sorry, Daddy.
Yeah, that's the next logical step. That's the next thing we need to do.
Yeah.
And because you guys let me know that my crush loves me, I'm going to let y'all live. So why don't y'all come in here with me, and I'll show you why I'm the god hunter. Hunter of gods. No, hunter god. There we go. That's what I wanted to say. I'm the hunter god. Look at my cool bow and arrow. Look at this shit, guys.
I did like her weapons.
It was very cool. I liked the Artemis character. Like, I almost wish that they had just had her for something.
Like, her knife was cool and, like, silver. And then the whole bow and arrow, all of it looked like
very
chrome
cool.
Or silver, yeah.
I liked her better than Zeus. Zeus's entrance was cool, but then in the end, he was just an asshole.
Yeah.
And no offense to Prometheus, he was a cutie.
Yeah.
But he was kind of boring other than that.
True.
And so was his kid, if we're going to be honest here.
Oh, yeah. That little shit. I'm just kidding. I like at the end, you were like, I don't think he had one
line?
I had to remind you, well, she did say stop talking when he turned 7.
I totally forgot. Or I missed it. I don't know.
That's usually me missing stuff.
I'm like, I don't think the child of the corn has said anything this whole episode. He's just stood there being creepy.
And he honestly just looked really sad.
Just sad.
Time.
So depressed.
He was
so
not a
sad.
happy kid.
Well, I mean, if you were a kid and you were dying every day for however long, I mean...
Yeah, it'd be depressing.
Be depressing. Yeah, so that was a little understandable. Anyway, Artemis, the cool person in this episode, came in there with her badass arrow and, like, told her, like, Dad, I love him. This isn't going to work with you just torturing him every day. I don't like it. Actually, I don't think she said anything. She was just like, hey, eat arrow.
Yeah.
Let go of her bow, and then Zeus grabs Prometheus and uses him as a human shield.
Not cool, guy.
Not
a
cool.
cool move.
Like, I'm trying to remember, did she say, like, Daddy, I love him?
She said something.
She said something. I feel like it wasn't Daddy, I love him, but I feel like it was basically Daddy, I love him.
Yeah.
So how mean was that of Zeus to be like, oh, you love him? Here,
kill him.
shoot him with your arrow. Good fun time.
Prometheus got him.
Oh my God, I loved that. I did like that.
Yeah.
As much as I wish, like, get rid of those two. Just give me Artemis. Give me more about Artemis. But, you know, whatever. I did love this. So Zeus was basically, like, laughing, thinking he's won. Artemis is devastated, has dropped her shit, and is just, like, heartbroken that she just killed the love of her life. After finding out after how many years? Actually, she didn't really find out. But after thinking after how many years that she has a shot, boom, he's dead. Or he's not dead yet. But before he dies, he grabs the arrow and shoves it through all the way so that it hits Zeus. And it kills Zeus.
And a lightning ball.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. But unfortunately, like, Prometheus ain't waking up this time.
Poor Shane.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Artemis.
She took it really well, that Artemis.
Right?
She just went over, grabbed his hands, looked up at Haley and the boy, and then she was gone.
Yeah, she was out. She didn't say a whole lot either. No, this was the opposite. Last week's episode, too much dialogue, too much exposition. Show me some more stuff. And then this episode, complete opposite. But they got to the point. Like, there weren't any gaps in the story. We didn't need a whole lot of exposition. Any exposition we needed, we got, between Shane being like, this is what I know, and then Haley showing up and being like, well, this is what I know. We got what we needed. But yeah, Artemis pieced out. She just took Zeus's body. She just took Daddy Zeus back to Mount Olympus. She was like, y'all deal with the other one. And they did.
Yep.
Gave him a hunter's funeral. While Dean stayed over by the pyre. What do you, yeah. Comforting Haley.
Of course.
She's devastated that her avalanche friend is gone.
I really hope she wasn't, like, counting on getting, like, child support, you know?
Not gonna happen.
I know.
I wish that at the end, when they were standing at the pyre, she looked up at Dean and went, what curse?
Oh my God.
It's like she literally just said, yeah, he died every day on the mountain. Then he died while we were having sex. He came back to life every time. And now my kid is dying every day. I know about that. But what's this curse that you all speak of?
Also, again,
can someone explain to me, what is this curse?
Just like how, like, if the guy disappears and not you see footsteps, I would have followed. I need to know what happened. If somebody died while I was having sex with them and then they came back alive,
and they tell you this happens every day,
I would need to know more about that. I wouldn't run away. I'd be like, tell me more. I don't get it.
Yeah, but you want to be immortal, so you would be going, so how'd you do that?
Let's figure this out. Tell me everything.
But anyway, so that's happening over by the pier. And then Sam is just sitting in the back of an SUV or something with little Oliver, who still looks super sad. And Sam just wants to cheer him up. So he's like, you know what? Fuck your dad's funeral. Like, let's fuck off. Let's go get some ice cream sundaes instead. And little Oliver goes, no, I'll stay here.
I'd like to stay.
I'd like to stay. And the way he said it, I'm like, so is he like a god? Like child of the corn god?
Well, he's going to need a lot of therapy after all that.
My goodness. I mean, at least he's talking again.
Well, I mean, that's a step.
You know, we got that going for us. So they say they bid their adieus to Haley and Oliver. What, Kurt?
Good
She
luck,
said it
Haley.
like 3 or 4 times.
I'm sorry. I'm just having a hard time wrapping my mind around all this.
She knows how to get Fulgur right, all right? She's going to be fine.
It's true. She was helpful in that.
Sam and Dean are returning to the bunker after having burnt their umpteenth body. And Sam goes, you know what? Oh, no. First, Dean congratulates Sam on figuring out that Artemis had the hots for Prometheus. Mm-hmm. And Sam admits that, like, that he just was going on a whim there, that he was just making a guess.
Shot in the dark.
Yeah. Good luck. Or good job, buddy. And then Sam goes, you know, I'm starting to be a little worried that maybe I'm being a little naive, or maybe I was being a little naive, thinking that I could go through these trials and come out unscathed. It's like, yeah, you think? How many times have you coughed up blood now? Yeah. And apparently you don't even need to cough it up now. Apparently it just jumps
gets in there
into your throat.
Yeah.
And Dean says, well, too bad, because you promised me you're going to live to an old age.
A Clark Griswold line, long life.
And you're gonna stick to that bargain. And what did Dean say? Like, it's my turn? Dean said something about it being his turn. And so I had to, like, do a little rewind in my mind. And I was like, wait a minute, I think it actually is Sam's turn. Because Sam died in season 2 whenever Jake Aldous Hodge stabbed him in the back and severed his spine. Dean died in season 3 whenever the Hellhounds came and attacked him. Sam didn't die, but he went to hell and got locked in the cage at the end of season 5. Dean, same thing. Like, he didn't die, but he got blown away to purgatory. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's Sam's turn, not Dean's turn, is my point.
Okay.
Anyway, Dean's real up. Like, he's being the one who's optimistic now. He's the one who sees the light at the end of Sam's tunnel now. Sam does not see the light at the end of his own tunnel anymore. I mean, it's still there. It's just not as clear.
He's worried.
He's starting to be like, I've only done one, and it's been a while since I did it. We cut to the bunker. Dean is sitting on his bed looking a little morose, and then he finally calls out to Cass. And he's like, I don't pray often, but I need you now. I need you to keep an eye on my brother. I need you to protect my baby brother. Like, Dean's not normally the optimistic one, and I love that he's putting on the show of optimism, and then we see, like, he's actually still terrified and thinks that his brother might not make it.
Yeah.
This episode was written by Daniel Laughlin and directed by Steve Boyum. Haven't seen that name in a little bit. Let's see here. When's the last time Boyum directed something? Let me look real quick. Yeah, we haven't seen Boyum since season 5. Mm. So it's been a little bit. Last episode he did was Swan Song. That was a good one. He deserved that break. He just was like, home run, and then he pieced out for 6 and 7, and now he's back. He only has one more episode left in the series, though. All right. Gore. I would say the goriest thing was the fucking bird at the beginning. The bird of prey pecking away at his liver. They did specify with the grizzly thing that his liver was gone too. So I'm going to be interested with your lore as to what the relevance was with that. Because they didn't explain it. But I like that. I like it whenever they mention something but don't necessarily explain the relevance to it. And we get to find out about it in the lore. That's fun to me. But yeah, that's the goriest thing I can think of.
Yeah. Other than Sam's bloody spits.
It was gross. When he just like spit in the water, you and I were both like, ugh. Did you adore anything about this episode? I mean, we both liked Artemis.
Yeah. And I liked that they brought in like some of the Greek mythology. That was kind of nice. But yeah, mostly her. I'm
trying to remember, because Zeus was in Hammer of the Gods. Mm-hmm. I remember that because I remembered thinking it was weird that they had both Zeus and Balder. Wait a minute. Odin. No, it was Odin. It wasn't Zeus.
Oh, yeah.
I keep confusing the two. Can you blame me? Jeez. So never mind. I was going to say I can't remember if it was the same actor, but it wasn't the same god. So scratch that. Okay. Well, what about the lore?
All right. Well, we're going to be talking about Prometheus. And this is an article from Greeka.com. I like that. I'm going to check it out. So, Prometheus, the friend of man. The story of Prometheus holds a special place in Greek mythology and in popular imagination. This son of a Titan is regarded as one of the great benefactors of humankind, the bringer of fire, and the original teacher of technology and the useful arts to man. Wow.
I did like the conversation between Prometheus and Sam. I did forget to bring that up, where Sam was like pointing out, like, you literally saved the fucking world, man. Like, you're a hero. And that he pointed out, yeah, cool. But if my son has to suffer the rest of his life for that, not so cool.
Right.
And I think that's when Sam kind of started connecting the dots of, uh-oh, there's always going to be a price to pay.
Yeah, yeah. The great love that Prometheus had for humans often brought him into a dangerous conflict with Zeus, the mighty and cruel chief of the Olympian gods. The meaning of the name Prometheus, forethought, signifies the intellectual qualities of his many-sided character. According to some accounts, Prometheus is credited with the creation of the male of the human species.
Thanks, Prometheus.
Yeah. The conflict with Zeus. Prometheus was born to the Titan Iapetus and the nymph Clymene. Although Prometheus was the son of a Titan and supposedly allied to them, he had helped Zeus to gain victory in the War of the Titans. It was the fight between the Titans led by Kronos, the father of Zeus, and the Olympian gods. The war resulted in Zeus dethroning his father and establishing his reign as the chief god on Mount Olympus. Prometheus is also said to have helped in the birth of the goddess Athena by keeping open the head of Zeus as a fully formed Athena issued out of the gaping hole in her father's head. Okay.
He's a midwife.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. The relations went well between Zeus and Prometheus in the beginning, however, as men on Earth multiplied and prospered, aided by Prometheus, who had given them fire and many beneficial arts, Zeus became concerned about their growing power. The anger of Zeus against mankind and their helper Prometheus was first aroused when the latter duped the chief god into choosing the worst part of a sacrificial bull. Prometheus wrapped the bones of the slain bull in fat while he covered the best part, the flesh, with the intestines. Zeus unknowingly chose the fat-covered heap of bones, while the flesh wrapped in the intestines was given to hungry men by their patron Prometheus. It's a tricky little fella. The great sin, stealing the fire from the gods. An enraged Zeus, in revenge, withheld fire, the most necessary element of civilization, from humankind, putting them to untold miseries. However, Prometheus soon came to help him. He stole fire from the workshop of what is it?
I could look it up.
Hephaestus.
Okay. He stole fire from the workshop of Hephaestus, the god of fire and patron of artisans and craftsmen, and passed it, hidden in a stalk of fennel, on to humankind. They're sneaky little things.
Stealing stuff left and right. Just stealing.
According to other accounts.
Got my animal fat. I got my fire.
Ready.
Got my skin, which is the best part, apparently.
Well, according to other accounts, Prometheus stole fire from the hearth of the gods on Mount Olympus.
I think that's the one that Sam said.
Oh, is it?
In the episode, yeah.
Yep. Now for the severe punishment. Zeus decided to punish once and for all Prometheus, who had made foul of the chief of gods. He had Prometheus chained onto a rock on Mount Caucasus.
Oh, there you go.
Caucasus.
That's the mountain that he fell on, or that they found him on, was Mount Caucasus. We were trying to figure out what mountain had the avalanche that they were on, what that would have been, and I assumed Mount Olympus, but Mount Caucasus makes more sense based off of the lore.
Anyway, yeah, so he had him chained to Mount Caucasus.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
For eternity, and put him to relentless torture by having a vicious eagle feed on his liver.
Oh, there you go.
The liver would grow up again at night. That's an
Grow
odd
up?
way of saying that.
Grow up?
Would grow up again at night.
You're a big girl now.
So that the eagle could happily eat it again the next day. This endless apin was the punishment of Prometheus for having helped the mankind. His screams were full of pain and despair. Even the gods in faraway Olympus could hear them, and Zeus was happy because this was also a warning for his enemies. According to some versions of the legend, the liver of Prometheus would have been the daily meal of the aforementioned eagle till the end of time, if the great hero Hercules hadn't killed the eagle and hadn't released Prometheus from his torment. Way to go, Hercules.
Why didn't they have Hercules in it instead of Artemis?
I don't know.
I mean, I loved the Artemis character, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But it seems like based on the lore, Hercules. Oh, I wonder if it was because, like, Hercules is a Disney character and all that other kind of stuff. If there was, like, if he wasn't in the public domain for them to use, they didn't have the rights to him. And so they had to switch it out. And they chose Artemis because she's the goddess of hunters.
Maybe they're just, like, too many sausages in the show. They're like, let's...
Never stopped them before. It's never stopped them before, LA.
Maybe they're finally like, okay, we need to switch it up, you know.
But the real big epiphany here, it was in fact an eagle.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Well, to close it out, when Sam and Dean had seen the fight between Artemis and Prometheus and were trying to figure out who the fuck could this possibly be, Sam said, "Who do we know that has Jason Bourne fighting skills, dies a lot, and has a history with violent women?"
And Dean says, "I don't know. You?"
Cheers. Thank you for listening to Denim-wrapped Nightmares.
Follow us on Twitter or Instagram, leave a review, and let us know how we can get involved in the fandom.
This was fun, jerk.
It always is, bitch.